Okay, now that we've outlined the course and explained the why, it's time to get to the how-to.
But before getting started, you'll need to connect with an organization or a group that's doing texting. Often this happens at an in-person text bank, where a group of volunteers get trained, send texts, and have conversations while gathered together in the same space at a specific time. Text banks are awesome, both because it's always more fun and more effective to take action with others, but also because text banks are way more fun than phone banks.
Wait a second. I love phone banks.
I do too, but I love text banks because while you're texting, you could turn up some music, have some beer or soda or snacks, and chat with friends all while you text. Think of it like a happy hour that's great for democracy. And not only that, but if you get stuck on any especially challenging responses to a message that you receive, you've got a whole room of folks who can help you figure out what exactly to say.
Okay, you're right. Even though text banks are a blast, we also want to note that texting from your home at your convenience is also totally awesome and incredibly high impact, and something you can easily multitask while you cook, watch Netflix on your couch, babysit, whatever.
Now, whether you text with friends or by yourself, note that we're talking about texting efforts done with an organization that helps write your text scripts and support your effort.
If you'd like to set up texting for your own organization to reach out to your own list with your own set of asks or ask, you can connect directly with one of the companies who makes a mobile app. We won't have time in this training to discuss that process in detail, but we will share more information in the resources section below.
Okay, let's get to it. So what are the steps?
First, you'll need to download the app you'll be using and get comfortable with how it works. You'll want to make sure you know how to find the list of people you'll be messaging, send a message, reply to a response, we're going to talk about that a lot more, and record additional information when you receive responses.
Next, it's important to learn about the ask you'll be making of folks that you're texting and make sure that you're prepared with the necessary details. For an event invitation, you'll want to make sure that you know the location of the event, the time of the event, why the event is important, any exciting details, like if there's going to be a high-profile guest who will be attending or speaking, and most importantly, a point of contact on the ground that day and their contact information. Remember that you want to avoid having the person that you're texting text back the number from your app with questions, because you might not be checking your app that day.
It's also helpful to make sure you have a sense of who's on the list you'll be texting. Will you be reaching out to frequent volunteers or new prospects?
Great. So you've got the app, you're feeling confident about the details of the ask that you're making. Now it's time to open up your list and press send.
As we mentioned a bit earlier, your opening message will be preloaded by the campaign. While this is one of the key features that makes peer-to-peer texting so special, you should still make sure to read your opening message carefully before pressing send. If you read your message carefully, you might notice that good opening messages have the following things in common. They include an introduction like, "Hi Yasmin, this is Kim with PP." They are short and sweet because the purpose of the opening message is not to give all of the information, but to get someone to respond and start a conversation. And they include a hard ask.
Now, whenever you're ready, start pressing send. Usually, you'll be able to continuously tap on the same spot on a touchscreen mobile phone in order to send a whole bunch of texts very quickly. Now, this is really fun, and I personally have fun getting pretty competitive about how fast I click because I kind of feel like I'm playing a video game. Your app will probably have some type of countdown feature or progress bar to make sure that you know how close or far you are from messaging every single person on your list. And if you're texting in the same room as some friends, it's always fun to insert some friendly competition onto your progress bar.
As soon as you start sending messages, you will start receiving responses. And following up with everyone who responds to you and quickly is critical to effective texting.
Yeah.
You should reply to every question and statement and make sure your replies match the messages you receive. There will usually be a few preloaded response scripts designed to predict and respond to a few of the most likely answers or follow-ups to the opening message. But ultimately, it's up to you to tailor those messages in your replies to each person you interact with.
And since this is organizing, you should always close your conversation with a hard ask, confirming if they're attending this event, or if they can attend, inviting them to attend another event in the future.
Okay, so now you've texted your whole list and replied to all of the responses that have come in. You're all set, right?
Not quite yet. 2 critical steps are still ahead: recording accurate data and continuing to follow up with the responses as you receive them, sometimes even hours or days after your initial message. If you can't commit to that, make sure to let someone in your organization know so that they can do so for you. Now let's talk data. The most important data that you'll record is the data that applies to the ask that you're making. RSVPs to your event. Make sure to mark RSVP yes and RSVP no to reflect the responses that you receive. If a person replies stop or please take me off your list, you should mark them as opt out. If a person no longer lives in the same region or state where your event is, also make sure to tag them as moved.